So, Amanda, I want to start with you, first of all. So you've been potty training for 20 years. So what sort of service do you provide? What do you do that parents can't?
So, basically, I will go, if the desperate parents call me or email me, I'll go and do, have a chat with them initially and then go to their home and spend a couple of days in their home and basically just find out where they've gone wrong and try and implement a good training system with them.
And you say 3 days is enough? 3 days you can do it?
3 days is enough to get them going and to get them on the right track. So, yes, definitely 3 days.
Which is lucky because you charge £500 a day.
Yes, yeah.
So they must be pretty damn desperate.
They are. A lot of them do come to me. They are very desperate. And, I do a lot more than 3 days. It goes on for about 8 weeks. I'm one-to-one with them. I call them every week and I give them, like...
8 weeks? At £500 a day?
No.
Where do you live?
I just go there for a couple of days, but the support is there.
I see what you mean.
So if they want to call me, and they do call me, late, and I'm there on tap for them, basically, and just to give them that support they need.
What sort of reactions do you get when you arrive? Because you say you've had people who've been crying down the phone.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of that, and especially sort of August time when children are about to start school in September, we get desperate parents that have tried all summer, they've tried everything, they've stayed in for a week or two and they've tried everything, and they are desperate, they're really desperate, and, they're not being lazy, they've just tried everything, and they don't want their child to go to school in a nappy, so...
Well, I mean, Nilüfer, Amanda says they're desperate people, they're not lazy parents, but you disagree?
Well, in the case of this couple, yes. I mean, I'd like to say I have no issue with a parent who's tried to potty train going outside for help. However, it is the parent's responsibility and job to potty train a child. Basically, what this couple are asking for comes across to me as neglectful, and quite frankly, it's disgusting.
Well, the reason that they state is because both of them are working.
They're too busy. They're too busy.
Well, they're working.
Well, they're working. I work. I would never be too busy to teach my child a fundamental life skill, which this is, going to the toilet. Being a good parent is not just about loving your child and providing for them financially. Being a good parent is about teaching that child fundamental life skills, like going to the toilet. This woman is saying that she can't spare what she's asking for 10 hours a week. She can't spare 10 hours a week to sit with her daughter to teach her something she desperately needs to learn because she's 3 now and she can't use a potty.
She goes on to say that
it's so selfish.
They've got a housekeeper who looks after their daughter day to day.
Do they ever look after the child?
They're looking for additional help with potty training.
Lots of people work very long
Hold a sec. The ideal candidate is described as someone with at least 10 years' experience in childcare, as their daughter can be somewhat difficult and doesn't respond well to authority.
That's awful. I just think their daughter is, if she is difficult, is probably difficult because she's not getting enough time with her parents. That's how it comes across to me. Again, I have no issue with people like Amanda. I think she does a great job, but I'm sure she would agree the parents must be involved. And it sounds to me like this woman is saying, we don't want anything to do with this. It's too hard, it's too much work, we're too busy earning money. Quite frankly, they don't sound poor if they can afford to spend £500 a week, £2,000 a month to bring somebody in and potty train their child. Why can't they then just take a few hours time off work, take a couple of weeks off work and maybe go to classes if they're desperate for help, but go with their child and encourage their child and teach them in a loving, nurturing environment.
Do you think, Amanda, that people are finding it more tricky because actually technology of nappies has become so good that they're just so convenient?
That is my biggest problem. When, years ago in the 50s, obviously we all had terry towelings and it was in that bucket and it was, parents wanted to get rid of it. It was awful smell, it was hard work, they had to hand wash them, and we actually felt when we went to the toilet, we felt wet, and we felt, when we've done a number 2s, we felt it. But nowadays with technology, with the nappies, they can't feel anything, and that's the biggest problem. When I go to toilet train children, they don't even realise when they've done it. Sometimes parents try it too early, and the children aren't even ready to do it, and that, that's a definite no-no, but definitely the technology now, and it's just, and nappies are becoming cheaper, so it's not such a struggle to buy them, and it doesn't help at all.
So is it best to be led by the child? Because, I mean, all 3 of mine were completely different potty training experience. Yeah. Chester was ridiculously early, pretty much did it himself. Harry took forever. So, they are all very different.
Everyone says to me, when is the right age to toilet train? I believe in being led by your child. If your child can't talk, walk, communicate with you, they're not stopping in their tracks, they're not even showing you signs, then it's very difficult for you then to try and get that child to sit on a potty and on command and go to the toilet. So I definitely believe you've got to be led by your child.
Nilüfer, how old is your child?
Milo is nearly 14 months old
Right,
now.
OK, so So you haven't done the potty training yet?
Not yet, it's a bit early, he's just started to walk, but by about 18 months, I think if he's ready, like you say, I will probably try and I will persevere. And if I need help, because I don't know how hard it's going to be for me, I will go to someone possibly for help. You know, there are academies, schools, classes. I will ask for help, I will read books. No harm in that and nothing wrong with it. Obviously, I want to be the best mum I can be and teach him in the best way I can.
But you said it could psychologically damage the child.
But what I'm against is handing that child over to somebody else and having no involvement, which is what these parents are really looking for.
But is that how it works?
No. Not with me, myself. So I actually speak to the parents first. I find out about the parents and what they've been trying and all about their child and why they find it a struggle. It's you know, because they have to be involved, because the minute I leave their house, they need to continue my consistent training with the child. So
do you worry that then the reaction that this lady has had online will make people feel more ashamed of coming forward and asking for help?
The biggest thing, we were talking about this previously, you know, everybody talks about breastfeeding, weaning and all of these different subjects, but toilet training is such a taboo subject. And I find that, you know, I've toilet trained 2 children when they've known each other, the parents, but they don't want to let each other know.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah, they just don't talk about it. And a lot of, you know, I go to a lot of groups, I go and talk to lots of parents, and very rarely will you get a parent to put their hand up and say, look, I've got a 2.5-year-old and they're not toilet trained. They just, they compare, you see, everybody compares their children.